Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a backtest convergence tool video. Now, I make these every single week, and I am always super excited to get right into it and talk about how well the convergence tool works and its win rate and pretty much everything nitty gritty into market net flow and the convergence tool. And yeah, so if you guys have no idea what convergence or market net flow is, I suggest you look at a couple of my other videos about market net flow and the convergence tool. But I will do a brief little summary of what it is before I backtest it, because I could make an entire video about market net flow and convergence. But let's move right over to my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so I had to make sure that I'm recording my video because my watch this video, I forgot to hit the record button. So yeah, so just had to do that real quick. So just to give a brief summary of what market net flow is and the convergence tool is down here. This tells you all of the calls and puts in the entire market. This is intraday flow. So this shows me within the day how many calls are being bought and how many puts are being bought or sold. Same thing with calls. So that's what the net comes from. So it takes into consideration the buys and sells of calls and puts, and it plots it on the chart right here. So it makes it super awesome to look at, especially if it's a very bullish day like it was on Friday. You can catch really nice moves to the upside if there's clear flow. And what the convergence does is it shows you the strength of price action relative to flow. So if price is going up and we're in a trend and there's a lot of volume into SPY, which is what we compare market net flow to, right, is the S&P 500 index ETF. So yeah, you can see that the green bars indicate bullish momentum, and then red ones, if it was bearish, it would be bearish momentum. So what I do every single week is I go over each flip. So if the convergence bars flip green, I look and see if there was bullish momentum after that flipped, and that would be counting that as a win. So as long as price moves up within 50 cents after the convergence flip, I count that as a win. But if it chops around within 50 cents, like 0 to 50 cents, we'll wash that. And if it goes down, if it's bullish flow, this is for bullish flow, the example. So if price goes down with a bullish flip of green, that would be counted as a loss. So I go through Monday through Friday, and we see the win rate of convergence because I rely solely a lot, I shouldn't say solely, but I rely a lot on the convergence and market net flow for my trades. So this was Fridays. Let me go over to Mondays, and we're going to run through these really quick so we can so I don't bore you guys. So what I do here is I screenshot it so I can show you guys on the screen. I can draw on it. Okay, so here is market net flow for Monday. You can see I never trade the first 15 minutes because it gets really messy. There's not enough flow for me to really get into a trade within the first 15 minutes. But after the first 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, you can really start to see some differences here. So we did start around the 438 level on SPY. We did go up slightly, and then we came back down. So we got a bearish flow cross here, and that's kind of when the bears took over towards like about an hour and a half to 2 hours after the market opened. So you can see that it was pretty much gray. The first 15 minutes, I won't count that because there's not enough data, but you can see that bears took over, and then we had a bearish convergence flip here. So I'm going to do my best with my arrows. So that's about when the bearish flow convergence started right here. So that's where it started, around the 436.50 level, 436.25. So that you got a nice move down there. So that moved about $1 to the downside in your favor of that bearish momentum. So it looks like that was pretty much the only trade that you got that went with flow, although we did get a gray convergence flip. So gray convergence usually means the opposite of flow. So since we had bearish flow on Monday, the gray meant that price was going to go up, in which it freaking did awesome there. So you could have got a really nice bullish play right there, but usually I back test the ones that are going with flow. So in this case, bears were in the lead the entire day, and that was the only flip that we got, the only bearish play that we got the entire day. So that went 1 for 1 for bearish plays. So what I do is I write that down, or I just put that screenshot here so in the archive so I can have it. Okay, so there was Mondays. Let's go on to Tuesday. Tuesday the 22nd, we're going to screenshot it again. Looks like we had a nice, somewhat bearish day. So just to point something out here, you can see that puts were right at the 0 point. So usually I don't like trading it if it's at 0. I like to see a lot of puts or calls being bought. But in this case, we did get quite a lot of calls being sold off. So that was a little bit bearish. So remember, first 15 minutes, we don't trade. But right here, it looks like after the first 15 minutes, it did flip red slightly. So that you could have gotten about a dollar move to the downside after that flipped. But it did turn gray slightly there for a second until the next red convergence flip. So I am going to count that one as a win. So these two here were wins. W here and then a W here. That one went down about $2 or $1.50 or so, from $439.75 all the way down to $438.75 or so, which there's the low. So that one did pretty good, and then it caught another one midday. This one looks like it was a little bit better, $439 all the way down to $437.75 or so down here. So we're going to count that one as a win. So this is where it gets a little bit iffy towards midday, because you get flips like this, but they don't last for very long. I don't normally trade middays, but they always do come up. So you just got to be careful of that. This one did go down slightly, but I'm just going to count that one as a wash because although it did go down slightly, it turned gray right after that. So these ones, this one here looks like this was the first loser because it did flip red and then it head up. So that one was a loss. Let's see. It was really messy. So it looks like all this was gray or so until the very end of the day, which it did catch it right there. W. Now, all these dots, it looks like it wasn't red for very long. Sometimes it does, these red dots do show up when convergence flips, and sometimes they don't. But it looks like these only lasted for a minute, so it's unlikely that you got in those. So I won't count those. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 wins and 1 loss. So 4 for 5. If you do want to get a little nitty gritty and you're going to count one of these as a loss, it went 4 for 6. So for the sake of the video, we'll just count one of those as a loss if we are going to take every single one. I never take every single convergence flip, just so you guys know. I'm just doing this for back testing. So we wrote that down. Okay. So it looks like we had a nice bullish flow day up until close there. So it looks like, okay, first 15 minutes. Oops, I forgot to, I'm like writing on it like I can. Move it over here. Okay. So it looks like we got a nice bullish convergence play there. Calls were heading up and there was a pretty nice divergence between calls and puts there. So that was a really good play. This went all the way up to this whole span of convergence. So this one went up from 440.50 all the way to 442. So about a $1.50 move. That one was a huge win. And then it flipped again midday, shortly after the red or the gray convergence flip here. And then you caught another couple dollar move. It looks like 442 all the way up to 443.50. So that one was a win. And then it looks like it got a little bit rough towards the end of the day. It looks like green convergence flipped around this level. So that did head up. I'm not sure quite if that was going to be counted as a win or not. I'm just going to count that one as a wash because I can't really tell if that went up 50 cents or not. But regardless, that went 2 for 2. Pretty good day for convergence on Wednesday. Let's go to Thursday. Thursday looks phenomenal. Thursday looks really good. Okay, so it looks like we had red convergence flip here. I'm pretty sure I did get into this trade. This one went down from 442 all the way down to 439 or 440 or so. So this one went down about $2, which was a really nice win there. And then we had another flip here. It looks like this one went down about $1 or maybe a little bit less than $1, but still, regardless, that would be a win there if you manage your risk accordingly. So it looks like it flipped again here. That one, so there was a lot of volatility, so it's kind of hard for me to see exactly what it was, but that one looks like a win clearly because of how small the spaces are here between levels because of how much we moved on Thursday. But yeah, that's a win there. It looks like it flipped gray for a short matter of time right there and then right there. Or maybe not even right there. I think this was a full red convergence flip there, but then it flipped to red again there. So that one was a win too. I don't think a single loss on Thursday, which is 4 for 4. This was a good one towards the end of the day. I've noticed that in the mornings, after 15 minutes, and then late in the afternoons, kind of during power hour, are when convergence acts very, very nicely. It gets kind of rough midday because you get quite a lot of flips and there's low volume, so it chops around quite a bit. But regardless, though, that was a good convergence day. And then Friday is our last day here. Really bullish day. It didn't start to be bullish until midday. You could see that it kind of chopped around quite a bit around here. You can see that it chopped around quite a bit. But it looks like it did flip a couple times here. I think I'm just going to count this one as a loss because it was kind of weird. It moved quite a bit there. So I'm just going to count that one as a loss. Because it's too small for me to even look at. But here it looks like it did flip red slightly. And that one was probably a loss too, but then it flipped to green right after that, and that one was a win. So 2 losses so far. So this is what I mean. So if the flow is looking really good and there's a divergence, convergence works very well. But if there's choppiness in flow and they're really close together and there's lots of flips, you're going to get lots of losses on convergence like you see here. So there's 2 losses already on the day. But it looks like it makes up for it later on when flow starts to react a little bit better. So that was a win there. It did get a little bit choppy, so if you didn't get out within the dollar move, 438 to 439, you could have gotten chopped out of that position, but usually what convergence, the strategy I use, is you always take profits as it moves up and then move your stop loss as it goes up so you don't lose any money. So that was a win there, and then this one was a really good one, it looks like. So this one went from like 438.50 all the way up to 441. So that was almost a $3 move on this green convergence here. So that was a nice win. So we went 3, 4, 5 on Friday. So let's tally these all up. We had 2 losses on Tuesday. I'm going to count those as 2 losses instead of 1 on Tuesday, and then 2 losses on Friday. So let's put this here. And then I'm going to calculate it for you guys. This is super fun because usually the win rate for convergence is about 80% on average. Last week it got like 78%, which isn't the best performing week, but it looks like this week was a little bit better. So we had let's see how many trades we out of convergence. 1, 7, 9, 13, 18. So it went 14 for 18 for out of 18 convergence flips. 14 divided by 18. So this one was about right. So it pretty much lined up perfectly with last week. It was about 78% last week as well. So a 78% win rate is pretty good, to say the least. Like, I'm going to take that every single week. But yeah, guys, using this convergence tool has really helped me in my trades. If you want to know more about it, click the link down below in the description. We talk about it every single day on Discord, and it makes me super happy because we make money doing it. So yeah, that's the backtest convergence video. I do these every week. Some are better performing than others, but 78% win rate is not bad. 14 for 18, 14 wins and 4 losses for all the flips on convergence. So yeah, leave a like down below, give me a thumbs up, and a comment. Let me know what you think of this video, what you think of market netflow and convergence, and don't forget to subscribe. If I could say subscribe, I will. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.